Hi, I'm your host, Chewy.
And I'm your other host, Tiny.
We are TNC at the movies.
Grab your popcorn and drink of choice. This is a review.
All right, starting off, the music that you're listening to right now is provided by Studio Pete, and you can find him on Spotify. Go ahead and just search at Spotify. You can also find him on YouTube. I'd like to now take this time to thank our movie night baristas, who you'll be see scrolling right in between us. We'd like to say thank you. You make this possible, and that is why we're making great product. If you want to become a movie night barista, go ahead and go to the link below at buymeacoffee.com.
We do enjoy caffeination.
And speaking of paying for the lights,
Thank you, Loomis.
it's also time for our sponsor.
That's right. Our sponsor is RoccoClark.com.
I'd like to take this time to thank the sponsor for the episode, RoccoClark.com. At RoccoClark.com, you can find help with many of your multimedia needs, like photo editing, including photo restoration or object removal, website design with Java or HTML. Maybe you have a special project that just needs a light touch-up, or perhaps a project that needs to be completely revamped. The awesome staff at RoccoClark.com will love to help you. Even if you're not sure what your vision is just yet, Rocco Clark will guide you through. Go to RoccoClark.com and fill out the Contact Me section for more information. RoccoClark.com, your next front-end developer. And we're back. Just to get everything out the way, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and just get that interaction going.
You can share it if you want. Copy that link. Go ahead
Absolutely.
and paste it wherever you like.
Tiny, what
Sir.
are we reviewing today?
Today, sir, we are reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This movie was directed by James Gunn, director of such hits as Slither, Super, and soon-to-be Superman Legacy. This movie stars Chris Pratt as your homeboy Star-Lord. You got Palm, and I'm only saying Palm because I genuinely don't know her last name, but she's actually very cool. She's in a lot of stuff. She plays Mantis. We have Miss Zoe Saldana. Actually, I forgot her last name, Zaldana.
Oh, Saldana.
Yeah, I didn't there's a little right on the top.
Sometimes I don't know, you gotta hit command 1, 2, 3 Apple, and then
basically
plus and then you get the squiggle.
And she gets to portray Gamora once again, this time with a twist. If you guys aren't up to date with the movies, go ahead and do that before you check out this review. And then we have Bradley Cooper as returning as Rocket Raccoon, and you got Vin Diesel making that movie check playing Groot. You gotta love the dude for his hustle. Make fun of him if you want, but that dude's getting paid to be Groot, and that has to be the easiest job for any voice actor.
Unless it's revealed that he was wearing a green suit the entire time.
Oh, I would love that, dude. I was even debating with my friend that I was watching the movie with. And I was like, did they base him off right? He literally looks like Vin Diesel, all bulked up and on screen. But yeah, if I missed you while naming you, just know that it's no disrespect. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know you from Superstore, and he was Teal, and he was dope. There's other people also, people from his other projects, such as the one with John Cena. You guys are telling us in the comments, right?
Yeah,
right?
write it down in the
Loomis,
comments.
tell us, because I'm not gonna figure this out.
But it's okay, and we're gonna spoil the answer right here.
He was in Suicide Squad. Don't play me. Peacemaker. So Peacemaker, right? So there's other people from Peacemaker in his wife, his homie, who played one of the dudes. Great cast. Let's just get out of the way. Great cast, great casting. Good job on the casting director. So this movie is basically, if I'm not mistaken, is a fetch quest to save Rocket.
Get the MacGuffin.
Grab the MacGuffin and drink of choice. It's a fetch quest.
And okay, I know this is totally random, but this is the vibe that I got a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, left field, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dude, immediate. I'm just like, can we just give this dude any projects? I mean, I don't mean to disrespect James Gunn. Can we just give James Gunn any project that our nostalgia can think of? Like,
I mean,
you can give that man a Mega Man movie, and I'm sure he'll kill it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just I don't know whether he means to or not, but you know, this movie got me a lot in the feels.
Oh, yeah. F yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there was many highs and many lows, but there were the high lows because there were, you know, it made you feel.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
We'll get a little bit more into that a little bit later.
Yeah, no problem.
I want to go ahead and talk about the characters,
Mm-hmm.
but first I want to bring up how I think that it was pretty genius the way that they came about doing the characters, because I think in this movie, again, you know, I think that Gunn is brilliant, right? So I think that everything, you know, after I'm sitting there with my Charlie Day board, you know, I start thinking that everything is on purpose.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
Off the bat, I feel that he loves each and every single character. And you know, when a parent goes and he says, "I love all my children equally,"
Yeah.
I think that in the cinematic sense, each character is all of, you know, James Gunn's they're all his children.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's one of the reasons why the movie was so long, because every single character got their due. And it was like I thought that they did it in a brilliant way, because it was the total like Toy Story buddy system. You know,
Go on.
It's all you know. Do you have a moving buddy? If you don't, get one. Because
Okay.
everyone seemed to be sort of, you know, paired off, and then they sort of had their own little adventure, right? So
I hear you.
you know, you had Drax and Mantis who were out there, you know, like, of course everyone was a bigger, you know, a part of a bigger thing,
Yeah.
but then they were,
He also had Quill and Groot.
yeah, you know, and then you had Cosmo and
Craggle. Yeah, that's right.
right?
Yeah.
You know, like everyone was sort of pairing off, and then, you know, you got either through dialogue or through just, you know, interaction, where you got a lot of character development, right? And I think it was done, like I said, I'm gonna be using this word a lot. It was done brilliantly.
Yeah.
Because everything was just a sort of like a small vignette here, small vignette there. Everything was just here, and it's sort of just intertwined in a really good way. Again, another random movie. You ever seen Coffee and Cigarettes?
Oh, dude, I love coffee. You're kidding me. He's kidding. He has to be joking. I love coffee.
The entire thing. It's just,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like just here, just back to back, and then, you
Jim
know,
Jarmusch, by the way, you guys.
and everything just meshes together, right? And I think this was done with all of the characters, and again, I think this is why it was so long, because each and every, you know, character, and most of them were paired off one way or another. And I think that's how you got a lot of the, you know, the organic development with a lot of the characters.
Yes.
And again, I don't think anyone walked out of this theater like complaining that, you know, like their particular, you know, favorite character, whoever it may be, that, you know, they didn't get theirs, because everyone was highlighted in some way, and it didn't feel like anyone was sort of more than the other. Though, you know, I guess everyone individually can like, you know, whatever character you like. But I just think that the way that all the characters were kind of brought up, I think it was done just sort of brilliantly.
Yeah, for sure. Introduction to Adam Warlock, awesome.
Yes. And, you know, and to me, I totally forgot all about it, and then I was like, oh my god.
Adam Warlock's a good highlight.
Yeah. And then, you know, and even him, just, you know, him and you know, his mom, like they were over there, and then you kind of, through their interaction, you kind of learn more through a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then,
like, he's just a baby.
yeah.
He is what? What's a good example of that? Basically, I mean, he wasn't Drax level of coherency, but I mean, he's basically Drax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in a bad way. I mean, it's just all very like, you know, the comedy aspect.
Yeah.
He was there for comedy. The High Evolutionary is quite the villain. He is relentless. He's angry. He's calculating.
Yeah, very.
It was just like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, who's the next Thanos or who's the next big bad? It's like, how about we just have a bunch of good big bads again? Like a bunch, like not just worry about, the bigger guy. Like, who's a really good villain, in my opinion? Killmonger, great villain.
Great, yeah.
Great villain. High Evolutionary. I'm gonna go ahead and stack them right there with Great Villain and Killmonger. If you debate me right here in the comment section. I'll be glad to talk back to you guys. The High Evolutionary, he was, like I said, he was relentless, he was cruel, he was ambitious, he was playing God. He himself said he only started doing what he was doing because there was a lack of a God. Yeah, good stuff. Just overall fantastic villain. I know I've already compared him to Killmonger, but I think he has his own level of cruel, his own level of ferocity. He was vile. There you go, vile.
Yes. And I think, and you know what? I think a bigger contrast between between him and more of like the not more common but more recent of the the antagonists, that a lot of the times, not that they have a redeeming quality, but sometimes you're always like, well,
you agree with them.
I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Like
not
maybe not the method, not this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think it was written brilliantly, and you know what? And I think it played on some of the inner, just okay. So it preyed on the humanity of people who love animals, and you know what? It's again, you know what? It's gonna be a theme. It's gonna be a theme in this review. It's like how do you make someone completely hateable? You want them to just be hated, like the way they made in the Cruella movie, the way they made that antagonist.
How do you
make so how do you do it?
Become an animal hater.
Hey, look, here's the bunny.
Yeah, basically, you got to be evil, vile, have no remorse for animal life.
And that's how it's done. Look, here's another bunny.
That's two bunnies gone.
How much do you? Hey,
the third bunny.
Hey, this is the heel turn. Bunny. Boo! Yeah, don't you hate me now,
yeah.
Bunny?
Yeah, no.
And I think obviously that's a good way, because whether there's redemption or not, I care not. This guy needs to go.
Yeah.
And I thought that, again, they did a good job on making sure that everybody hated this guy.
Oh yeah, they not only did they make sure that we hated him, but they made sure we hated him for a good enough reason. Like, if you haven't watched the movie, watch it. Tread lightly if you're sensitive to things of that nature, but just know, like, James Gunn knew exactly what he was doing when he wrote the High Evolutionary the way he did. But a cool little aspect too, he wasn't just cruel and vile and angry, but he also had gravity powers, either technology wise, right? Because he had this little like chip thing in the side of his brain. He basically had this suit that gave him the power to control gravity within just his realm on his ship.
just near him, like he could just sort of.
It wasn't like Graviton where he could like just absolutely destroy you with gravity.
In the flashback scenes, you got a lot of we got some contrast between, how he was before and how he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the current version, you hate him for sure. But the old one, like you kind of, in the beginning, you kind of saw him turn, right?
Mm.
And I think it was done well, because when he's first presented, he sucks.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to hate him. Mm-hmm. But then the flashbacks, they kind of drive it home, and they kind of let you know why you're supposed to hate this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was done very well.
Excellent. James Gunn knows how to write a movie. He knows how to keep you entertained, enthralled even. He just great storyteller. Yeah. Let's just say that. Great storyteller. Thank you.
And now, just piggybacking off that, I want to talk about sort of how you feel about the flashback scenes, because yeah, the movie was very, very long, and you know, interwoven within it, you do get this, you know, the flashback scenes kind of put together, give you this sort of mini movie and like a, you know, like a mini prequel.
Right.
A very, very, very dark and very, very contrast from, you know, the non-flashback, which were more, you know, laid back and dare I say comedic.
Yeah.
But the flashbacks were not that. They were very, 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 very dark. But to me personally, I think the flashback episodes were actually the reason that I love this movie. Definitely the hardest scenes for me to see, or at least, you know what, the hardest to develop, right? Because, you know, you get emotionally, they get you because you get emotionally invested. And
you know where I think that they got probably the entire audience is as soon as they started naming each other. Not each other. Well, you know, they gave themselves names. Yeah, Teef. Yeah, it was Floor, Rocket, and Lila. Yeah. So, and then like when you were speaking earlier, just I watched the movie 3 different times. But I think during one of my viewings, I was just like, I wonder what this movie would be if you took out all the flashbacks, or if you just gave me the flashbacks and then gave me the rest of the story. Like, I was just like, you can't. You absolutely cannot. You would destroy the movie. You'd give me Morbius. You would give me X-Men Origins Wolverine. You'd give me such a minuscule, chopped up product that I'd be like, this is no good. Get this out of my face, you know. But yeah, those scenes were so what's the word? I'm thinking of the wrong word. Not pinnacle, but they were such a rock, a base for this movie. Not the saving grace, but like, if you didn't have these freaking scenes, like what emotional gravitas would we have for Rocket and the High Evolutionary? You know what I mean? Like, it don't mean to cut you. It just drives home the fact that Rocket is a complex character. He's not just an animal who speaks, you know, and has an infatuation for arms and legs and appendages. But, you know, he's just great job on James Gunn's part for doing that, and really making us check ourselves to be human.
Yeah. And you know what? You know why I know that it was done very, very well?
Why?
And the reason is because it's so easy to forgive how predictable it is, right? The way they present the characters, you're gonna love them. The moment they have names, that's the moment you start caring. And like I said, hey, no spoilers, but if you know that these characters are in flashbacks and you ain't never seen them ever before,
it's for a reason.
Look, point A, B, there's 2 dots. Look. And you know, and they get you. They get you the way that Vince McMahon gets you, right here. You know what's gonna happen, and when it happens, there it is.
It's like when HBK. He's like, I love you. And then freaking gives him
Super Cake, Ric Flair. She was like, get pregnant.
Yeah, just go on, lay it on me.
Just do it.
Passion. Absolute passion and dedication. That's exactly what James Gunn did to this franchise. He took if you were to tell me in the comment section, oh, I've known who the Guardians of the Galaxy, I believe you. I believe you knew what the franchise was in a comic book version. But don't tell me you love these characters and knew who these people were. James Gunn brought these characters and made them your Captain America. He made them your Wolverine. He made them your Incredible Hulk, your Superman, your Batman. These are now household names. Mantis? Well, I didn't know who the heck Mantis was. As a matter of fact, I just watched a video on YouTube the other night on the history of Mantis and how interesting that is. If you guys ever get a chance, looking at her. She is.
In fact, link below. We're gonna find a link below. Go to it. Let them know who sent you.
Yeah, like just give credit where credit is due. Like from what James Gunn was able to do from Volume 1 to 2 to 3, I am so very excited for the future that he has in store for the DC. For DC movies in general. I want to see Superman Legacy. I want to see who he. Don't tell me he's not gonna cast the Batman, because you know he will. I don't even care. Just make the movies I want to watch them now. Like, not that I don't care, but I want to consume these films now.
All right, Tiny. Well,
is it that time?
Speaking of,
talk to me.
Maybe more than one, but who's your favorite? I mean, you know,
favorite characters?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you my surprise favorite character first, because it's like Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock as the 10 minutes that you get or whatever they're saying he's in there for. I didn't count. That's just what I've been hearing and reading. For the minimal amount of time that Adam Warlock was in this movie, it made me like the character from just his movie version. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've read anything involving Adam Warlock and I know his, down to no, I don't know that, dude. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But what James Gunn was able to do for the character, from just what I know, that his involvement with the Infinity Gems and the Gauntlet and all that, like his story and whatever, I want to see him again. I want to see him in another movie. Put him in whatever you can. Get him to be an Avenger. Get him to be anything. I want to see Adam Warlock. And if you're asking me who my other favorite character was in this movie, I'm going to say this version of Gamora. Like, I know you're probably expecting me to say, Quill, Groot, or, Groot was cool. I'm not going to lie to you. Wings spreading and all that. Dope. But Gamora, for the amount of time she had to be this different version, to almost to kind of what she was in Volume 1 to Quill, it just shows that you can keep writing, James Gunn. Like, just keep writing, dude. You're never gonna lose a job for being a bad writer. Yeah, those are my two favorites from this volume too. Surprisingly, like, I'm surprised myself.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that your answer was complex, because so is mine.
Sick.
Because, like I said,
yeah,
there's multiple things going on, and so I have multiple answers, right? So, in the three sort of main, not plots, but like where things are taking place usually in three different places.
Yeah.
So, off the rip, Floor in the flashback is my favorite character. Why? Because she's a bun, right?
She made you feel.
Yeah. Shout out Liz Storm in the UK, who also loves buns. But anyway, just the best character, and then just you have to just see the flashbacks, survive the heartbreak, and then you'll see why.
Yeah.
I think that what's it, Cosmo? I love the dog. I love the dog, and I love the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole swapping of the gender didn't even bother me. I don't think it bothered anybody else in the theater. And the cool thing about that is James Gunn did that to honor the actual dog that was sent to space.
Yeah.
That was based on the character of.
And it's just great stuff. Just.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess sort of in the main the main shindig of where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 1A, 1B, and I'm gonna go pretty predictable, pretty classic.
Hit me.
But what can I say about Dave Bautista that I can't say before? Just
That is a gem.
I think he's come. I don't know if I think this might be like the 5th time.
You better
in
play
a
Kratos.
review where I've said, Dave has gone a long way, and he's made Drax into such a memorable character. And then you just see him, you just see a complete arc from this character who, it's like his personality is his lack thereof, and yet he's hilarious because he's not, right?
Went from laughable goofball to lovable goofball.
So definitely love him. 1A, and Star-Lord, still my guy. Hey, when you get into such situations, he always finds a way. There's a lot of can relate there. I think that I think that maybe because they worked on developing his character so much in all the other movies, they kind of
Thor and all that.
and all that. I think that I think they should have done more, if anything. Just because again, small spoiler, in the opening scene, he's out there drunk and and obviously he does it because he misses Gamora. And no one ever, hey man, we're not gonna sort of explore that part. But hey, I guess some people just don't have drinking problems. That was just we caught him on a bad night, I guess.
That's all.
That's it.
He didn't actually have a problem. He was just having a nice little what do they call it, a bender?
Yeah.
Little
Just a
binge
nice
drink.
little harmless bender, as it turns out. But I did think it was interesting how they had his character still be, at least for part of the movie, he's trying to make Gamora fall in love with him all over again.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's not the same one, but yet a part of him doesn't care, but he should, but he doesn't. And then, it's like a whole thing. It's like a whole thing.
It's entertaining.
It's very entertaining. It's pretty funny. And then at the end, you kind of, you get nothing, but you get a little bit of growth. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you get
it's
that smidgen of resolution. You're just like, oh, okay, there could have been, or at least it's back to volume 1 love is what I was getting.
Right,
earlier.
right.
Like it's just enough.
It's also reminiscent of sometimes the resolution that real life gives you. Sometimes it's just like, well, I guess case is closed, but
Yeah.
what
Sometimes
the
you
hell
don't.
happened? Okay, well, I guess sometimes it's just, man.
It just happens, man. That's volume 3. That's what you gotta love, volume 3, and what James Gunn had to do.
But it was done brilliantly because, again, it was just, you kind of get into the mind of like, hey, he's really trying to get with her, but why? It's just,
You admire his admiration, his never-ending will to just love her and be loved back by the woman that he perceives to still be Nebula. I mean, to still be Gamora. Whoa, what a Freudian slip. Speaking of Nebula, I know they weren't trying to push it, but don't ship that couple. Let's not ship that. That's not gonna happen. Nebula and Star-Lord, get real in your dreams. It's not gonna ship, guys.
no. He can't handle her anyway.
The upgrade arm?
Yeah,
Nah, it's bad. He can barely handle all that alien he was handling in space without Gamora's interactions. Go Star-Lord. You went from baby Iron Man to just legendary Star-Lord. Freaking cool.
In movies like this,
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it's still called cinematography, or is it called like spaceography, right? CGography. Anyway, just like,
good question.
Hey, they are the Guardians of the Galaxy, so sometimes that implies multiple worlds in the galaxy, and they did visit multiple worlds, and a lot of them were very, very different. And I guess I just want to get your take on how did you feel on some of them. Did you like them? I personally thought that I liked it for the most part. I thought that, you know, like that first organic world, I would call it, very, very bright. I thought the interactions there were,
I guess I'll tell you what,
eye-catching.
Yeah, no, for sure. So the station nowhere, the celestial gods head that they're in, that is an entire space station for them. And I think every time that they had the inside, you felt like it felt lived in. It didn't just feel like a set of people through some dirt, rusty paint, whatever. It looked lived in. It looked like their home. It didn't look like a set. Never once did I go, oh, that's a bunch of CGI. That's a bunch of whatever. Good stuff. Like, what else was also fantastic? Even though it was like suburbia, normal America, it was Counter Earth. Counter Earth looked cool. It looked livable. Yeah, but like you know, it was even the like just the quick space shots or the quick shots of them taking off, just good. I don't know who the cinematographer was, but good job on getting hired by James Gunn.
And I'm glad you brought up Counter Earth, because Counter Earth was so dead on that I was like, ooh.
You didn't need to know anything they were saying. It's like you knew exactly what they were saying. You know what I mean? You didn't need to know the was it a vampire bat language?
Yeah.
Just after a while, you just caught on. Oh, he's saying yes. They're saying yes to everything. Reluctantly yes to a car arrangement, but
yeah, no, they sounded like, oh yeah, no, I know exactly what's going on. Why? Because I've seen this too many times before.
Yeah.
Some good, not so good.
Heck yeah.
You'll have to just watch, but that'll also get you
every time. There's one thing. I mean, it's hard to say. There's one thing that I did not appreciate. It wasn't 3 hours long. It could have used another half hour. But that's just me. And no, I'm not saying the movie's missing anything, but if you would have bumped it up with like a few more interactions or like more dialogue, I wouldn't even have been mad at you. I just wanted to see my favorite characters keep talking and being on screen.
Yeah, no, I think Adam Warlock you could have used some of that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I think you should just, get a little bit of practice for the DC movies. I mean, if you're gonna do something that's 4 hours, you might as well. If you're already like at 2.5, you might as well just go 3.
Yeah.
Just
I already imagined Adam Warlock as Superman, so I'm already doing that for myself.
And because like I said, I mean, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and sort of like what we alluded to earlier, it was 2.5 hours because it had to be that.
Yeah.
You had to give this is the last movie of this this particular Guardians, but this is the last time that each character kind of gets their last hurrah, even if it's just the little bit of closure, where there's closure, development, a hint of what's gonna happen next. Like we were talking earlier, James Gunn loves all of his children equally.
Yeah.
And for that reason, this movie was so long, and some could get a little bit more love, or just you could easily given us more, because we were already at a point where, hey man, this movie is already this long, and it's not a bad thing. So
it's a good thing.
Adding just a little bit more would give us a little bit more. But it was plenty. It was fine. Still wish there was more Adam Warlock, but whatever. But again, could have been more. That's
It's about the only complaint I really have.
Yeah.
Just could have been a little more. But the movie was great. Soundtrack? What do you think, Chewy? What do you think about the soundtrack?
Okay. So, I think first, I want to make a comment that the Beastie Boys, for sure. I don't think they've actually they don't even need to make new music. Like, they don't need to do anything. I think they just their stuff being played in movies is. I think that's how they're making money. I think that's.
They made the Marvels trailer look really cool. Just saying that.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I like the Beastie Boys. I'm just commenting on man, they sure get used a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
I mean, it's good music. People know it.
Check's in the mail. The check is in the mail.
Right.
Otherwise, I think the music was great. I think that you sort of get a little bit locked into the era of music, because sometimes you kind of it's got to be something that that Peter either knows or that he should be sort of familiar with.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's music that I love, so none of it was bad. A lot of the music that I heard a lot of the music I was very familiar with, and for the most part, I very much appreciate it. I thought that is it well chosen or just
I think so. I think it was they were thoughtfully chosen. If you listen to the lyrics, they get across the point of what he's trying to give, like the feel that he's trying to give across with the scene. I'm not gonna lie to you, first time I watched it, I to hear Creep at the beginning and then right at the end to hear Dog Days, I think I was shocked. I was like, hey, this is modern music. This isn't like 60s, 70s, and 80s, what you're used to hearing from volumes 1 and 2. So yeah, the first view, I was like, oh, these are interesting choices. But then watching it the second time, even the third time, it's like, oh no, these are perfect choices. You are now understanding the mindset he had behind the musical choices. So to see Crockett sing Creep, it's like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense. Chewy, there's a thing with Marvel, and they like to call it, and I think this is probably just for like the TV series and stuff, they like to call it the hallway scene. Daredevil had it, the Punisher had one, the Defenders had one, and I'm pretty sure Iron Fist had one, even if it was badly choreographed and acted out. Everyone had a hallway scene. So here's James Gunn to one up everyone on that. He had what I would call, and this Beastie Boys, right, Chewy?
Yeah.
You brought up Beastie Boys earlier. Beastie Boys went ahead and escorted the Guardians of the Galaxy into one of the sickest scenes in this movie, Chewy. You want to go ahead and fill them in?
Okay, well, we have here one of the best fighting scenes in, I'm gonna go ahead and just say it's one of the greatest in cinematic, because it's damn good. It's damn good. You really feel like, you know what? Okay, you feel like if you're actually there, but you got the, not there, but you got the VR goggles.
Yeah.
So you're like standing there, but you're unharmed the entire time, but everyone else is just getting wrecked.
It is an experience.
Like, it's definitely like, if there was a camera on me, you would just kind of be like light up, eyes lit up, I'm like lights lit up over there, lights lit up over here. And I guess the reason I'm describing it so vague is because, again, I'm keeping the spoilers very, very minimal. You kind of got to see it. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good, I would say. Definitely something you're gonna like definitely remember. I love the scene, but other than that, there's a lot of scenes, and I think I just want to highlight one because I think it's the one that just kind of.
What's up?
The one that just kind of got me, like, definitely the most, and I think it's just the scene where. And we actually already mentioned it, but specifically, I want to say the scene where everyone chose their name and they gave each other names.
Yeah, that's right.
That was the scene that made me care.
For sure.
Because it's like I forget what comedian said when it was like, "Hey, these are all just chickens, because they're food. The moment you name them is the moment you can't eat them."
Yeah, basically.
And, what was it? Carlsman's, yeah. They were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what you're gonna name them. The moment they got names is the moment. Oh man, now I care, and I care a lot. Because before you kind of cared because they're they're animals, but now they have names. So now it's like, And well, I think that was. I don't know. In my eyes, it was somewhat subtle, but I think that was a very, very powerful scene because I think that's the scene, at least personally, that made me care the most, which completely set up my what eventually becomes my grade for this movie. But that particular scene, I very much appreciate it. I would say.
This movie really reminds you that you're human, and if you don't even have, not even like, oh, should I be crying? Like, if you even question it, you're pretty human. Good job. But it really, really tugged on the heartstrings. Like, as soon as you see Rocket express any kind of emotion for, the hand he was dealt by the High Evolutionary, it's heart-wrenching, dude. It is like I've expressed on the channel before, like I'm no stranger to crying during a movie, especially if it's well deserved and it's it hits you right there in the feels and everything. It's just if James Gunn made a bet with how many people he can make cry, I'm sure he's winning so much money right now because he really knows how to tug at the heartstrings. He really makes you know how to care about characters, especially with the naming of. And it's like like you said, as soon as you name something, it's your friend. It's obviously an attachment.
Yeah,
there was attachments to the characters. I think we are ready to grade this movie. You guys ready?
I think we're there.
Oh, also drop your grades in the bottom below if you've watched the movie.
Yeah, give us your thoughts.
Heck
for
yeah.
sure. All right,
sir.
I'm gonna go ahead and go first.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna go on my little tiny 10-second monologue.
Go right ahead.
Because, like, if you haven't noticed, just been deriding this movie this whole time.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. It makes you feel, which I think is the biggest reason why I very much enjoyed this movie, why I recommend this movie. And again, everything is just, but I do got, asterisk. I always gotta say, hey, if you love animals, it can be a little, you're like, ooh, I don't know. But if you get through it, it's gonna make you feel, and emotions are gonna run wild. But at the end, don't worry, it's gonna get you, and the movie's worth it. The characters are phenomenal. The storytelling is great. I like how they managed to get and show love for all of the characters, and just everyone got a spotlight. Mm-hmm. And they did it in such a way where I don't think that anyone can legitimately complain. Like,
unless you're the critical drinker.
But hey, that guy's a hack.
Oh.
Unless you want to go out drinking, I don't care. We'll do shots and debate. You gotta use an avatar though, because I don't think anyone should be on camera doing that.
No.
Not the point. I thought the storytelling was great. I thought that they managed to intertwine all of the stories. I thought they were able to do it in such a way where it didn't seem too long, even though the movie was
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But it didn't necessarily feel that, but you did get a lot of storytelling. And I love all the characters. The antagonist, I love that I hated his guts. I like that I hated him. Yeah. I like that I felt not even a little bad for him.
Nah. Everything he got, he deserved.
I got to have a brand new favorite character. I didn't even know some of these characters existed. All in all, this movie actually has the highest grade that I have ever given a movie so far.
Oh, what is that?
While this movie, I'm giving this movie an S as a grade, I will say that it is the S in front of all the other ones. Nice. And I think the only one that may dethrone this would be a Kylo Ren movie. And I don't mean a Star Wars movie. I mean, Kylo Ren.
Oh, just Kylo Ren, like a story with just Kylo Ren?
No, Adam
Driver. Mr. Driver?
Mr.
Okay.
Driver, I just
65. You guys need to go watch 65. I know what this review is, but just know I said it. 65. Give that movie a chance. If you love Adam Driver, you're gonna love that movie.
Which I do. Anyway, I give this movie an S. I see very little reason to not go see this movie. I recommend this movie. Make sure you take a potty break beforehand and enjoy the crap out of this movie.
Yeah, dude. Take your mom on a late Mother's Day event. Take your dad if you got one. Take your sister. Take your girlfriend. Take your ex-girlfriend. Just go watch this movie. Oh, is it my turn?
Oh yeah.
Well, since it's that time for the grade, I guess I'll just go ahead and you know what? Let me give you the grade now, and then I'll tell you why. S+.
Yes.
S+. Nice. I'm pretty sure I've given a movie an S+ before, but I feel like this is the only movie that I actually feel like this needs more than an S+. This is a freaking great movie. James Gunn needs to continue making movies. Don't matter. Give him any character. Give him a dead property. Give him a new property. Let him make his own. Let him come up with his own movies and characters. It just fantastic filmmaking, fantastic work from everyone. I'm talking from like even the catering. I'm sure did a great job on bringing what everyone wanted to eat. Great movie.
Hey,
I don't know how much.
I
don't know how much praise I can give this movie, but I mean, just go watch it. I mean, we heard a spiel over this movie. Like Chewie said, we were deriding that Obama. That's if you guys watch good TV, you know what that means. But like I said, look, great movie, S+. I don't know what else to tell you. Loomis, go watch this movie, or all you baristas out there, go watch this movie. Just enjoy life. Watch movies, y'all. Heck yeah. Oh wait, I didn't even tell you why, did I?
Oh, tell us.
It's just great characters, great storytelling. If you didn't find at least one character relatable in here, go check your pulse. Go see if you're even from this planet. I'm just gonna say this real quick before we get out of here, Chewie. I have an honorable mention for a character.
Let's do it.
War Pig. Pig. Yeah. Is it Judy Greer? Judy Greer, I believe, voiced. She was is Ant-Man's ex-wife in the films. Michael Myers. Actually, no, they're not related anymore. But Laurie Strode's daughter in the new movies. Honorable mention on that character, because believe me, when I heard War Pig speak, like I was audibly shocked and also completely entertained. So awesome. Forgot what my tangent was about. Watch movies, man. Honorable mention was we didn't even Drax. Spoiler alert. If you got this far, Drax having to say goodbye to Mantis. Heart wrenching. I thought I was hurt by what the High Evolutionary's actions. That part right there got me. That's why you get an S+. That scene alone. Good job, James Gunn.
Right here. I would like to remind everyone, hey, if you're here this long, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you really, really like it,
Bait us at the bottom.
become a Movie Night Barista. BuyMeACoffee.com/TNC.
At the movies.
Music provided by Studio P. And we are brought to you by The Cabin Productions.
I've been Tiny,
And I've been Chewy.
and this is TNC
At the movies.
Watch movies, y'all.